What? So this is an unplanned video. In all explanation of the word unplanned. Alright, so I just watched the season finale of Superman and Lois. I wasn't able to watch it when it was on, as stuff goes on Tuesdays, not able to watch it. So I watched it on the CW app. So going into this, people have asked questions about what is Superman and Lois's place within the Arrowverse. Because, things are a bit different. They're Earths merging and no other heroes show up. There's no other mention of anything. We have the Flash airing concurrently with this for the most part, and there's nothing going on. So what is going on and what they decided to do with it, I feel is just a lazy, stupid ass move. Because it undoes everything that Crisis was supposed to do. Remember Crisis on Infinite Earths? Crisis on Infinite Earths merged all the Earths together, right? Supergirl's Earth, Black Lightning's Earth, merged with our Earth to create Earth Prime. Yes, there are other Earths out there like Stargirl's on Earth 2. I'm assuming that Naomi shit show was on another Earth. Batwoman was on Earth Prime. All the main shows were on Earth Prime. And then, like that, Black Lightning, Supergirl, they were gone. Legends and Batwoman just got canceled out of nowhere, which leaves 3 shows that are somewhat connected to the Arrowverse. I know that Naomi mentions Superman, but I never watched that show. It looked terrible to begin with, and that show's gone too. So that leaves 3 shows. Stargirl, we know is on Earth 2. We know that from the end of Crisis, so we know that's on Earth 2. We know firmly that the Flash takes place on Earth Prime. This episode of Superman and Lois, the season 2 finale, confirms something that makes completely no sense at all. If you look at the end of Crisis, if you look at some cameos, especially a cameo from a character within the Arrowverse later on, and that's you have, Jonathan and Jordan, the sons of Superman, if you don't know, are worried about their father. He's been taken to the sun because he has no powers. You open the sun, can revitalize him, and they're worried that he's not going to be able to do anything. And then Sam Lane, General Sam Lane, Dylan Walsh's character, Sam Lane, Lois' dad, makes the speech and says, I have been with the DoD for a long time. I have seen other heroes from other worlds, but we only have your father, which means Superman is the only hero on this Earth. Not only is that a head scratcher, but it makes no sense because Diggle showed up during season 1 and mentioned Oliver and other heroes. He shows up at the end of this episode, our Diggle, wearing the same clothes, looking the exact same as he did in the episode The Flash from 2 weeks ago. He shows up talking to John Henry Irons about Bruno Mannheim as your villain tease for next season. But you cannot say, oh, our show takes place on a separate Earth from the Arrowverse, then have an Arrowverse character show up 10 minutes later. You cannot do that. This feels like a last minute. This feels like the showrunner, producers, whatever, kept hearing the complaints and wanted to do something about it, and then the show started getting canceled. Black Lightning and Supergirl got ended. The other 2 were canceled. They're like, okay, let's just say it's not connected to the Arrowverse. Let's just say Superman's the only hero, even though that makes no sense because there have been other connections. I mean, it explains why Sam Lane looks different, why we have now a British, uh, what's his name? I can't remember his real name. Tal Rowe, but he was another name. Morgan Edge. He was Morgan Edge. It was played by Adrian Pasdar, who I love the actor that got to play Morgan Edge, Tal Rowe, but what would it have been if Adrian Pasdar was Superman's brother? Not only does he look like he could have played Superman when he was younger, I'm just saying, I was thinking about that. They could be brothers, who knows? But it explains why there's different actors, but it still doesn't make any sense to the context. They've mentioned stuff before. And you go back to the end of Crisis. We never saw Superman jump to another portal to another world. We don't see that. He's just still on Earth Prime because that's where it was based at that point. And they just... it frustrates me. It makes no sense to say that this is separate because of other connections. And what's worse is you're so conflicting because you say, oh, this is, your dad's the only hero. There's no connection to the Arrowverse. And then Diggle shows up 10 minutes later. You can't do that. You can't say there's no connection and, oh, look, Diggle's here. And you say, oh, it's that Earth's Diggle. But no, because he's dressed exactly the same as he was in the Flash episode 2 weeks earlier. Same hair, same beard, same clothes, everything. It's our Diggle. You're not going to convince me. That's our Diggle. Wouldn't it have made more sense if it was someone else, like, say, a Jimmy Olsen? You could have had Makad Brooks have a guest spot to show up. And it could be James, or even a different character. Or a different actor. Now that you've shown that this is a different Earth, right? You have, I don't want to say the real Jimmy Olsen. I never thought that James Olsen was the right one anyway. But you could have Jimmy Olsen, a different guy, say, hey, I'm Jimmy Olsen, show up. There you go, we got Jimmy Olsen again. We got a different one. Yahoo for us, and he's come to talk to him. It would have made more sense than saying, oh, this takes place on a separate Earth. Superman's the only hero here. And then have Diggle show up and just give people a freaking headache. Alright? It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'm still going to watch it, of course. It's a good show. I had emotions all throughout the freaking episode. But this just... it feels like a last-ditch effort. It's like it feels like a snap decision. Like it was made on the fly. Like it was like, okay, fans keep wondering what, they keep saying, well, what Earth is on? How come there's no other hero showing up? And then other shows are getting canceled. And they're like, you know what? Let's just say it takes place on its own Earth. But it was a hasty decision because it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. As a wise man once said, it just raises too many questions. And I don't know. Hopefully they'll do some more explaining next season. I really don't know. It just, it's frustrating. I got a movie to finish watching for a review. So I'll leave you with that. But what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, I need a Tylenol. I need an Advil. See ya.